welcome back. We are joined now by representatives from the Special Olympics Belize, and they're here to discuss the upcoming games, right? So here we have Philip Marin, who is the National Director, and Norman Coco, who is the District Lead from Stan Creek. So welcome and good morning. So could you just start off by telling us what it is the Special Olympics Belize does?
Good morning, Belize. I must start by saying thanks for Channel 5 for inviting us and give us this opportunity to talk about our 14 national games and also the LATR, which is a law enforcement touch on. Special Olympics is an organization that provides sporting training and competition for children with an intellectual disability. We do this in order for them to develop their fitness, to develop their skills, and also to demonstrate courage and experience joy. Our mission is to create this environment of inclusion where our athletes are given equal opportunities and are accepted to participate in whatever activities that is happening in the society. Special Olympics founded in 1991. So far we have participated in 4 World Games because we always participate in the Summer World Games. Our first participation was in 1991 in Minnesota, USA. And 1994 it was in Connecticut, USA. 2011 we participated in Athens, Greece, and the last one was in 2015. We participated in the games at Los Angeles in USA. So we are getting ready for the 2019 World Games, which will be in where, Mr. Coco?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi in the 2019 World Games.
Wow.
So we are here to talk about the national games, which will be held this Friday, and Mr. Coco will elaborate more on that.
Yeah. Now let's find out more about how the individual bodies of Special Olympics Belize work with the young people. How frequently do you have the athletes with you training throughout the year?
We currently have a branch in each district.
Yeah.
And we have a committee. And the job of this committee is to implement training, because the main focus of the organization is training, sporting training. So currently they are preparing for the games on Friday, which they will be engaged in athletics, bocce, and football.
Yeah.
So they train, we implement an 8 weeks training before the games.
Okay. And tell us about your work in Stan Creek.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
We have some very able teachers at Holy Ghost, that is Miss Kerr and Miss Devon Garcia, who continuously see our athletes and partners on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. We also have Mr. Laurie, who is undertaking the family runs. We have a fitness club. This is where we have the athletes and their parents come together, and it's ongoing. The idea that we have athletes and partners, their involvement in sports or day-to-day activities is not only monitored by us, but by themselves, because we have very active kids and athletes. In terms of how we are getting ready, for instance, with the football team, we had our first pre-selection of nearly 5 to 8 students or athletes from each district, and that's how we keep engaged. They are also active athletes in their various sports.
So athletics, which means they do running.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bocce. Explain bocce to us. Bocce is not something typical to Belize, right?
Bocce is it can be an individual or team sport.
Okay.
It is played by you need 2 different types of ball. You also have a small ball which is called a palina. The first objective of the game is to roll the palina, and the team need to roll their ball as close as possible to the palina. So it is like a rolling sport.
More coordination, more hand-eye coordination, and luck that the ball will go where you want it to go.
Because, as I mentioned before, the objective is to they get the bigger ball as close as possible to the palina, and it can be playing individual or team.
And we've been pretty good in bocce in the summer games.
Yeah, because last year, in 2015, we sent our female team, and I think they received silver medals.
Yes.
Silver medals.
And what is it? We know inclusion is important. So some of the teams are set up with intellectually disabled children, and with children who don't have intellectual disabilities. And I want you to tell me what the interaction is like for the children, and what do you see the benefits being?
Interaction is great because that is what we call unifying. Unifying means that we encourage people without intellectual disability to be a part of us, because this boosts up the energy of our athletes.
Yeah.
And probably you want to share that.
Well, the interaction goes in so many dimensions. When any person, whenever you're in a game, emotionally you feel well. You forget all about your troubles. It's all about winning. And the important thing about Special Olympics in our motto is not about winning, but rather the effort in which you are involved in these activities.
Let me be brave in my attempt. Yeah.
We look at, say, some of our athletes who have excelled. They are not only doing well in sports, but also in academics.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't notice. I have a case in point at Communical High School. Jenna Locke, you wouldn't notice she's an athlete. You wouldn't notice she's maybe a member of Special Olympics Belize. And also the awareness that we get from the people around who may not know, and especially those who may have this intellectual disability or even physical disability, but they don't have that place where they can go to have fun. And that's what we really want. Yeah.
And I know it's not, only about winning, but that does give you some boost. So what has our track record been like at Special Olympics?
This will be looking at Special Olympics International. This will be our first time that we'll be sending athletics to the World Games. So it will be our first time. Previously, we sent marching and football, so this will be the first time we send athletics. So we are planning to send a delegation of 23 for the 2019 World Games. So we will have male football and female athletics that will represent us.
Okay, so the preparation for the national games have been ongoing. How many athletes are you bringing in for the games?
We will have a total of 310 athletes and 130 volunteers. So we will have participation from all 6 districts. So they will all be here on Friday. And apart from the national games, for the first time we will implement a performance station. Performance station is an event that happens apart from the national game to boost up the energy of the athletes so they can increase their performance and also the fitness level. For example, we'll be having a hydration booth where we will have water bottles, we will have different energy drinks, Gatorade powder, and the athletes will need to go and mix their drink. Take the water, pour in the bottle, and mix their drink. So that's why we want to promote healthy living. And also we'll have a nutrition booth where we'll have different snacks on the table, and they will have their plates, so they will have to go and select their snacks or their fruits or their vegetables that they want to put in their plate. We also will have a pledge wall where the athletes will need to write a goal. For example, I want to improve my fitness level within 6 weeks. And after they finish with their goal, we'll have a wall where they will go and put their pledge on the wall, and they will take a picture with somebody that is popular in the country.
Oh, nice.
So this is what we want to promote. So I must say thanks to Special Olympics International to introduce this to us, which is something good, and it will help us increase our performance.
Yeah. Now, this is an opportunity for people to be able to come out and interact with children with living with disabilities, and a great way for them to see, or for us to see, the capabilities that they have, that while perhaps there are some special needs in one area, they're fully capable in many others. What has the public support been like over the years?
Over the years, it's a growing organization.
Yeah.
But that said, of course, the first stakeholder are the parents, and all our athletes and volunteers, their families have been very helpful. We also have, of course, being a governmental aided body, we have so many stakeholders, Ministry of Education working with special needs. We have, depending on our needs, the people we run to. We have medical officers who help us. So it's an entire community that's helping. It's not enough. Clearly, there are so many needs that we have. I was looking at the projected what would be our budget to finance our travel, for instance. It's a lot of money. But one of the things that we ask the public out there is to be part of it, participate. It's not about the financial input, but being part of it in taking participation in our community family fitness events that we are having, the fun runs, the torch run right now. There are so many ways that you could take part. If you want to chip in, and maybe depending on who you are, you want to take a picture with the torch itself, there's a fee you're paying, and it might be for the not only for the likes on Facebook that you'll get, but you'll be helping us in so many ways.
Yeah.
And to add to that, I must say that we are receiving a lot of support from the community, the business places. They are helping us in whatever possible that we are asking them. On Friday, we will also be screening our athletes. We have the people from the Dental Association. We'll have doctors out there, and we'll also be doing eyes checkup too. So
fantastic.
So we'll be having a lot of activities on that day. The kids will be very engaged
and very excited, because what are they going to do? Camp out in Belize City?
Yeah. So just imagine the journey for the one coming from PG. Because the game start at right after the opening ceremony, which the opening ceremony is at 9. So we will start at 8:30 with the Hope of Flame, which is a law enforcement torch run. They will start with a march around the track. Then we will commence the opening ceremony.
And this is all taking place at the
Marion Jones Sporting Complex.
So it's a full day of just games.
Yeah, full day of games. We are expected to conclude probably about 4 or 5.
And after the games, what will the process be like getting them prepared to go to Abu Dhabi?
As Mr. Coco mentioned before, we already did a pre-selection for the football team. So the football team will be playing our neighbor that is next door, St. John's College football team. So we'll also have an exhibition game where we'll showcase the athletes for football that will be going to Abu Dhabi. So
and that will be taking place also?
Also on Friday. Then for the athletics, we will select the athletes that will represent us at Abu Dhabi on that day itself.
Oh wow! So those are the most medals?
No, not really. It's important to note that in football it's going to be male, and then for athletics that is going to be female.
Okay.
So when we start the trainings, for instance, it's going to be moved around depending on where most of our athletes are coming from, but majorly it will be here in Belize. In terms of the activities that we are going to have, we have events such as 50 meters walk, a sprint, 100 meters walk, relays. We're going to have the javelin. We'll have discus, but it's going to be a softball throw. So we've incorporated track events and field events.
So what do you say, hold on, before I go there, 150 volunteers, where are they coming from? That's a lot of volunteers.
That's a lot. They are coming from all over the country. For example, Dangria, how many volunteers you are bringing? 10. We have from PG probably another 10 or 11. From Orange Rock, it's about 18 of them volunteers coming from Orange Rock. So from all over. So what we'll do, we'll have different areas where we'll place them. So by today or tomorrow, they will know exactly where they will be located on that day.
And I'm not sure if someone's watching the show and they decide maybe they want to come and help on Friday. Is that?
Yeah, that is also possible because we are always in need. Because I don't know if you know, at Special Olympics, I'm the only paid staff as a national director. Everybody else are just volunteering, and sometimes they do not have the time at that moment when you need them. So I can be reached at email address specialolympicsbelize@gmail.com, cell number 671-5641, and you can also visit our Facebook page and send me a message there.
And for people who have never been to a national games before, why do you encourage them to come out on Friday?
Because it is very important for us to know that people with disability also have talent. They are capable of representing our country and excel and also bring medals to our country. And also is to help us with awareness, is to help us create this environment of inclusion and to help us give equal opportunities for our athletes, and to boost, as I love to use the word boost, is to give them the extra drive for them to be energized, for them to have this feeling of love that they are appreciated in society.
It also depends on what you love. For the football lovers, we encourage you to, especially if you ride with St. John's, come and see the surprise you'll get. But
you
also,
have to go to the national games to cheer for the Special Olympics team.
Yeah, but also it's a Friday. If you're free, you're most welcome to have fun with us. All the celebrities out there, please come out, because we're going to have a booth where our athletes, partners get an opportunity to meet some people who could encourage them. So you're almost welcome.
And what time is the exhibition game?
We start at 8:30. I have to say there are people who are going to start earlier. Those will be in the torch run. But at the events itself, we want to start at 8:30 with the opening ceremony, and our games should start by 10. Yes.
So definitely on Friday, you want to head out to the Marion Jones Stadium and see our Special Olympics athlete doing their thing in athletics and in football and bocce. All right. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
At this moment, I want to give thanks to our donors, our sponsors that will make this event possible. I want to say thanks to the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, Special Olympics International, National Sports Council, Public Utilities Commission, Angels and Angel, BEL, Choice Bank, Belize Water Service Limited, DFC, SMART, BTL, Atlantic Bank, Belize Tourism Board, BNE, Central Bank of Belize, CPBL, Grace Kennedy, and Bowen Limited.
All right.
And also today is my mother's birthday. I want to wish my mother happy birthday. She's celebrating her 50th birthday today. Mom, enjoy your day and have fun.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. And once again, the Special Olympics National Games takes place this Friday. Take the chance to come on out and show some support for the kids. Thank you. We're going to go ahead now and take a break, and we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned.